Hi everyone, my name is Dree, and I'm going to be talking about the Picture Exchange Communication System, also known as PECs. So PECs are pictures or icons or symbols that are used to communicate a person wants or needs. It's typically used for nonverbal learners or learners with little to no speech ability. So for example, at a client that we know that he has a wide vocabulary, he uses a lot of language when he wants to, but it wasn't really typically used for manding. So he wasn't getting a lot of his wants and needs met. So we implemented a PEC system to encourage that language for him. PECs typically look something like this. So it's a picture of the item and then the word at the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. And you can use either clip art like they did here, or you can take a picture of a real water bottle. And it doesn't really matter about size. There's no really determination for size. It depends on the learner and their wants and their needs. The creators of PECs said that the only real prerequisite skill that's needed is the ability to hand a person an icon, which is definitely needed in order to get your wants and needs. So the idea is that they would pick up something like look up a binder here, determine that they're thirsty, and then hand it to their parent, therapist, or teacher, or whoever, and then the person would deliver them water. So yes, that is a huge prerequisite skill, but you definitely need the ability to scan, because they're going to have to look through something like this to determine what they want and what they need. And they're also going to need to learn how to discriminate. So they're going to need to know that this is cookie versus this is water. Granted, these are things that you can teach later. So PECs also are typically taught in 6 phases. So phase 1, teaching them just how to communicate. So what that means is that the teacher or the therapist or parent, whoever's teaching them, is going to determine that the child wants something. So maybe they haven't eaten in a while. You know, they absolutely love animal crackers. As a therapist, I'm going to put only one icon on the top of this binder and teach them, as I'm holding maybe animal crackers, all right, to put it in my hand. So that can be either by prompting and placing it in another person's hand, or modeling to get them to do it. But the idea is directly after they hand you the icon, you give them animal crackers, whatever they're asking for. The biggest thing about PECs is that it doesn't focus on a need for social reinforcement or an indirect version of reinforcement. The item itself serves as a reinforcement. Meaning, so they hand you animal crackers, you give them animal crackers. So after they have mastered handing you one icon, you kind of, for phase 2, just work on distance and persistence. So maybe the binder isn't directly in front of the client anymore. And so you're working on them learning that if the binder's not directly in front of me, I still need to grab the icon and give it to you. Also with persistence, you're focusing on generalization. So you need to make sure that they're able to not only communicate their wants or needs or hand one icon to their teacher, but to their therapist, their parents, and so on, and in different learning environments also. The next stage is picture discrimination. So from this, they're learning how to discriminate between 2 icons. So let's say we're still working on snack and you know that they still want snack. I'm going to maybe put a different icon. I'm just going to choose blocks and animal crackers here and teach them how to discriminate that this is animal crackers versus this is blocks. So that means they only get the item after they hand me the correct one. So they can learn to discriminate between 2. Phase 4 is sentence structure. So they may have an icon here that says I want, and then they have to put over it I want animal crackers or I want blocks or whatever it may be. Phase 5 is answering questions. So a therapist or someone may ask them, okay, what do you want? And they have to tell you what they want. Or they may have to answer a yes or no question, something like that. Phase 6 is commenting on their environment. So they're taught to learn how to comment and to tap on things. And so, like I said, PECs is actually very commonly used. They're very easy to make. So, like I said, you can either use clip art or you can use an actual real picture of an item. It depends on the learner. I know some learners that do very well with clip art or cartoon-like images like this, versus other learners need actual real pictures to be successful in this. So it depends on the learner. The plus sizes, they're really easy to make. You don't have to buy anything. You just make them on their computer. But the downside is, as the learner's vocabulary grows, you have to continue to make PECs in order to fit their wants and needs. Other than that, I think PECs is a great way to teach learners, and I hope you learned a lot from this video.